we're gonna be treading into no man's land. As y'all already know, I've made yapping about dead video games my specialty. We've taken a look at games that anyone can find in the aftermarket with the right amount of patience, or fire up in an emulator with the right amount of Google searching. We've even gone so far as taking a look at some digital games in their final moments before getting discontinued. But today marks the first time we're going to be taking a look at a game that never even got a life cycle thanks to some corporate plan B. Now to rip the band-aid off before y'all call me out for misinformation, yeah okay you got me, this is a remake of a game you never stop hearing your dad talk about, but it's also not that remake of a game you never stop hearing your dad talk about, so it's up in the air if it really counts. You see, for some historical context, this game was originally put together as a Hail Mary. Nintendo, of all people, saw that Sony hadn't capitalized on the rising popularity of first-person shooters, so that motivated them to negotiate with MGM for the rights to make a James Bond tie-in game. On top of that, they commissioned a third party based in the UK to develop the game. Behind the scenes you can tell it sounds very precarious, but it was lightning in a bottle. Sure, it might have been carried by the last-minute addition of the multiplayer mode, but this was still a successful silver bullet against Sony. But unfortunately, it's post-release cycle where things start to fall apart. With Microsoft's rise to power, they started their tradition of buying out entire studios by buying out Rareware, the British studio that was originally the brains behind GoldenEye. Fast forward to the late 2000s, Microsoft starts resurrecting Rare's old backlog as flagships for their Xbox Live Arcade service. The 10th anniversary of GoldenEye is coming up, so they make quick work tuning it back to life, censoring Nintendo logos, everything seems like clockwork. That is until we get to MGM's perspective, where, in a devastating turn of events, they'd actually reject Microsoft in favor of selling the rights to Activision instead, which is how we ended up with that remake. It might seem like that's where our story ends, but as it turns out, complete playtests had been circulating around among insiders. But they were seized by Microsoft and thought to have been destroyed. Well, thanks to some scavengers from the Chinese aftermarket who just happened to dumpster dive the right hard drive out of the right landfill, for the low price of free,